took a holiday.
Yeah, yeah.
Took some time to celebrate.
Come on, let's celebrate.
Just one day out of life.
Holiday.
It would be so nice. Everybody spread the word. I live in my sister's basement. So I finally got sick of the spindles breaking all the time, and I decided I'm going to try to fix them today. Here's what happens. This little end piece, which is kind of triangular shape, constantly pops out, and then the spring comes out, and this little part here that slips over the spindle itself also pops off. As you notice, I'm missing this little pointy part now. Well, that's because the last time it fell out, it fell inside the transport. So I can barely see it down there, but it is down there. And there's also another piece of plastic that busted off. I know where it goes, and I'll show you guys when I pull this whole thing apart. So the first thing I gotta do is pull all these knobs out, take the freaking cover off, and then I have to actually remove the entire fucking mechanism to get that out and fix the issues. But while I'm in there, I'm going to replace the belt for fast forward and rewind, because last time I was in here, for some stupid ass reason, I decided I'm not going to do that. I just replaced the belt for the cap stands, got it working, and then I thought, oh, that's good enough. And so now I got to take the whole goddamn thing apart again. Okay, so the cover's off. Here's the inside of this beast. So next I got to take this face plate off, which means I got to take these line and mic potentiometer knobs or whatever off, and this one for the BIOS has to come off for the BS. Okay, so basically you just remove the screws along the top here. There's like 5 of them, I think, across the bottom side. Remove those. Take the knobs off. Pull off the big ass adjustment knob. And then after that, you can just grab the whole thing and pull her over. Now, there's going to be there's a light right here. So that actually sits back there. So don't just, if you're taking one of these apart, don't just grab the faceplate and pull, because you'll actually ruin this light, which just slides in like that. If you can tilt the face down far enough, you can access the screws here and here that hold this little control panel in for the play and fast forward, and then you can completely remove the panel. There, front panel has been removed, and I didn't destroy the whole thing. And then the next thing we do is there's 4 bolts that hold the mechanism in. I want to take those out, but first I got to unplug everything. I believe it's like this one and this one and that one, and there's a bunch of plugs that come off this mechanism and plug into there. So yeah, that's next. Great fun. Alright, so the mechanism is out. I just want to show you something that's happening here. See that little piece of plastic strip on the back of that spindle? It keeps breaking off. As you can see, it's solid there, and then suddenly it's gone. There's a big chunk that was supposed to be there. Fell out, and here it is. So both this one and this one are bad. This one is still on there, but it's got a lot of cracks. You probably can't see that, but... So I'm going to try to fix both of these freaking things. I'm guessing the spindle is supposed to snap into that. Oh, I see. Just like that. So that's what's happening here, is this is supposed to be one piece, I guess. So gonna have to try to figure out a way to fix that. Alright, to take this hunk of shit apart, you need to, because I just want to remove this plate from the mechanism. Because this is the plate that holds all the pulleys in. They're kind of like sandwiched between this plate and this plate. This breadboard here just screws onto this backing plate. If you're planning on doing this, there's also a spring here and a spring there that you need to take out. And they're kind of a bitch to put back in, but they need to come out in order to take this apart. And if you got one of these, it'll be a lot easier for you. Also forgot to mention there's another spring inside there down by the motor for the cap stand, and that one's a real pain in the ass because it's got a little washer that it hooks onto, and you got to take the whole thing out. Let's see if I can do it with the camera. Oh, there. Now taking the spring out isn't the hard part, it's putting it back on. That sucks ass. So that one's removed, and then these two are really easy because they just hook onto the backing plate here. All you have to do is pop them off. So I need to try to get this belt off. Basically, I need to pull this apart enough to get that leg out of there. As you can see, there's this metal leg that runs down through the, see that leg? It runs through the plate there. So I got to move it up enough just to be able to slip that belt underneath it. Let me try to get the, I mean, I can just take the whole thing apart, but I'm trying to avoid pulling the belt off of the cap stand. So that's why I'm doing it like this. And that's all this belt attaches to, is just here to the motor. It doesn't go anywhere else. So here's the old belt. It's a little crispy. It's a little deformed. It's not really that bad, but I think it's stretched. And here's the belt I'm probably going to put in it. I don't know if I should go with a little bit smaller, just because I'm losing a little bit in diameter. So I'm thinking that it might sit deeper into the groove on the spindle there. Alright, so the new belt is in, and it's way tighter than the old one, so that's good. I just hope it holds. I mean, it is a lot narrower. I mean, if you compare it. I mean, if it doesn't hold, then I just have to take the whole fucking thing apart all over again and redo it. So, that's all. Now, the next thing is I gotta put the screws back in and the springs, and some of them are a total pain in the ass. I want to try to fix the spindles. Now this is the one that goes on that side, and then the one that goes onto this side is severely damaged. These brakes still work. Alright, so I did my best to fix these spindles. So this one I basically just glued back together again, and I hope it holds. I used Gorilla Glue on this one. I mean, it seems strong, but who knows? We'll find out after I put a tape in it, I guess. This one, because it was so badly broken, I had to put a whole new piece on there and glue this all back together with super glue. There was no saving that, so basically what I did is I had pretty much just took a straw, well, this plastic tube thing, and I cut off a section of it, and then this is This is not for this machine, but I mean, this is an example of the little coupler that spindle attaches to. And I basically, what I did is I just slipped the tube over it. It was a little big, so I had to cut it down, and then I glued it right to the coupler, and then drilled a little hole for the little set screw there, and then glued the spindle directly to the coupler, and then I attached it. I got the mechanism back in. I got all the wiring hooked up correctly, and everything seems to be working. Tape counter's working, the cassette's turning, and it's playing something. I don't have it hooked up to a stereo to really hear if everything's playing okay, but I'm pretty sure it is. This looks a lot better than it did. I mean, this one's still wobbly, but not as bad as it used to be. Let's see if it... Oh yeah, way better. Yeah, this is a lot better. So I'm going to go ahead and finish putting it all back together again, and then hook it up upstairs.